Welcome to our video and presentation on disaster smart applications. Cell phone use in mobile devices have become a necessity ingrained in today's society. This trend is even being followed in your lesser developed countries. A function of some of these devices, smartphones, makes for the availability of programming that can push information out to you as it comes available, interact with you in your input, display static information as a mobile knowledge base, and so much more. It's these smart applications that we will be discussing today. We have developed a database that should make finding, managing information about, and personalizing your thoughts on disaster apps very easy. You will be able to reduce the amount of time testing and researching this information on your own and will not have to shop in various different places for the things you need. Our database highlights several different areas. We tried to create a database that was both simple and easy to navigate. You can see that by the numbering, the name of the app, and looking at the publisher and other general information about how to locate the apps once you've compared them. Now, one thing that we've added is whether the apps are for use for the public, by professional responders, or the volunteer responders that most likely pop up during crises. And then you can decide whether these apps are for preparedness, recovery, or the response phase of the disaster. When talking about the mobile access, that's talking about what type of operating system this app's for, whether it's mobile web, whether it's for the iOS, iPad, the Google or Android, or other devices. And then the prices and genre are self-explanatory. We also include the number of reviews and the version of these apps, as well as how recent this information is. We've also included the developer synopsis, which explains the apps in detail, and then an area where you can also include your input when you're comparing the apps, as far as your likes, dislikes, and whether this app meets your needs or not. We also did a database analysis where we looked at 41 iPhone and iPad apps. We looked at the audience, where there were 22 that were professional responders, 23 apps that were for volunteer responders, and 37 apps that were for the general public. We looked at the period at which these apps could be used for, 20 for preparedness, 32 for response, 20 for recovery, and the cost, how many of these apps were free, how many of these were dollar apps, or even more so premium apps that cost more than $1, and then highlighted them by genre. We saw that the majority of these apps that we have were for the general public, so we decided to pick one or two apps that we thought were some of the best apps or apps that could be used for preparedness, response, and recovery.
So this is an app called Stop Disaster. It's for building disaster preparedness kits. When you open it up, it looks like this, and you've got about 8 different disaster types you can choose from. When you click on one, it will bring you to a list of items you'll need. It's just documents, food and water, general items, clothing, bedding, sanitation, tools, and first aid. You can view it by priority levels 1, 2, and 3. You can also view the top 3 facts on mitigation. And any item that you need to add, you can just click the blue plus sign, put the category, and set a timer in case it's an expiration date type of situation. You can click the blue shopping cart to add anything on, and it'll show up in your shopping list, which you can send to anyone in your contact list. At the bottom there's 4 tabs. You can view by disasters, you can view basic kits, and you can view extra safety. At the top there's also 4 more tabs, and you can set meeting points for addresses of locations where you want to meet with friends, family, neighbors. You can make emergency contact lists and choose anyone out of your phone list. And then you've got the third one, which tells you a little bit more about time-sensitive items, and the fourth one, in which you can choose to share on any social media network anytime you've completed a disaster kit.
Looking at the response phase of a disaster, I thought the best app might be the Weather Channel app, and though it's not static, it can push current information out to you in times of need and give you the most situational awareness in which you can respond accordingly. The application is built for the iPhone, Android, BlackBerry. It has mobile web apps and applications for the iPad and Kindle Fire. The application itself gives you access to radar, video feeds, and current location information. And like I said, it can push that information to you whether you've requested it or you just need the alerts. The Weather Channel application has been reviewed and downloaded almost 300,000 times, if not more, and it's constantly being uploaded, meaning that somebody's always looking at this application trying to make it better for most users. You can also buy a premium version of this application, at which you even have more features and resources at your disposal.
I am focusing on recovery apps. My assumptions are that cellular and Wi-Fi infrastructure is unavailable, and I must rely on static information. Which app has the most information available if I only have one? I have chosen the official FEMA app, and this is the home page. Are you a disaster survivor? The first two options may not work post-disaster, but the fourth option is static. As you can see, there are 5 informational categories. I will focus on ensuring your safety and coping with disasters. Under Ensure Your Safety, there are suggestions for situational awareness for yourself and your family. Under Coping with Disasters, there is information on disaster-related stress and stress relief. Finally, when data connectivity is reestablished, there is an option for an up-to-date listing of recovery centers and official Red Cross shelters. This app has the best collection of information for a survivor post-disaster and incorporates information available in other standalone apps.